My wife of over 20 years did one thing which told me we were in more trouble than I thought. And if what goes on in your bedroom is less exciting and satisfying than it used to be, then you can probably relate. It was the evening, and I felt that familiar stir in my pants. I adjusted myself and nestled next to my beautiful wife on the couch like I had so many times before. I knew exactly what to do, and so I caressed her thigh with my hand. Normally what happens is she relaxes and leans into me as we pretend to watch the show until we can't contain our passion. But not this time. This time she tenses her muscles and pulls away from me. "It's okay, honey," she says in her mom voice as she pats my hand. "We don't have to try tonight, let's just cuddle." My heart sank, and so did my boner. She didn't have to say anything else to tell me everything about how she was feeling. You see, for the past few months, we had faced troubles in the bedroom. Sometimes I'd go limp too early, causing both her and I to feel disappointed and frustrated. I even hurt her a few times going limp mid-thrust, and lately I've had trouble even getting it up at all. So it's no wonder that now she was looking at me not as a powerful man who knows how to give his wife immense pleasure at any time of the day or night, but as an emasculated child who gets lied to and told that everything is okay when it's not. I felt a surge of shame and embarrassment, but more than that, I felt angry. Not at her, but at my body and my inability to control the one thing that makes a man a man. It was this moment that led me to stop running from my problem and instead discover the 10-second flow fix that everyone overlooked until now. What I found was so incredible because I didn't need to clue anyone else in on my secret. I didn't have to change my diet, explain my problem to our family doctor, or buy expensive and painful equipment. In just a few short weeks, I was able to go from limp and flaccid, practically inviting my wife to cheat, to being able to get a rock-hard penis anytime I wanted, and not only that, but keep it rock-hard until I came. At first, I didn't show my wife because I didn't want to disappoint her again. But after the first few times, I couldn't wait to remind her why she married me in the first place. It sounds cliché, but I felt like a new man. Everyone around me noticed my confidence and newfound energy and swagger. Now I don't have to worry about my wife feeling like she doesn't turn me on, or worse, risk losing her because I can't please her in the bedroom. Instead, I had to tell her to give me a break because her orgasms left her begging for more. But I'm not the only one this was working for. This 10-second flow fix I found has worked for over 147,000 men and satisfied just as many or more women, and is one of the best all-natural ways to protect your erection and your sex life, and not just get hard on command, but stay hard. And frankly, it really doesn't matter if you're in your 40s, 50s, or even your 70s and 80s. You'll be able to keep going until you get the job done. No more popping a pill and hoping you can time the effects and her arousal before performance anxiety kicks in. Now you'll have the confidence and control to be able to have amazing sex wherever and whenever you want, just like you used to. Imagine your newfound confidence with you everywhere, at the beach, at the restaurant, when you're out shopping. Women fawning over you, and yes, they can sense it. I know this sounds too good to be true, but this safe and easy 10-second flow fix can do this for you because I've seen it with others and myself. Listen, if you've tried it all already, then you know that none of the gains you make with Kegels, stretching manually, penis pumps, and friction devices actually stay. The reason is that the problem is much deeper, which I'll explain in a few minutes. And don't buy the BS that it's all in your head either. You likely had nerves when you were a young man, and yet you had no problem getting it up then. The truth is that everything you've been told is a lie from the industry trying to make a quick buck off you. But what you're about to hear will blow your mind. Because medical experts are now coming out of the woodwork and revealing Big Pharma's dirtiest secret about the real reason men at any age lose their ability to get rock hard anytime they want. Because it's not a normal part of again, and how you can fix it. Scientists are quietly calling it nature's penis pump. And the best part is, it's now being recommended by top universities such as Columbia, Yale, Harvard, and more. This is something that restores your natural, male ability to get and stay hard, which is the one thing that all men should enjoy at any age. This is really unlike anything you've seen before, and it's so simple and easy to do that you'll wonder whether you should keep this secret to yourself or share it with everyone you know. Because this 10-second flow fix addresses the root cause of your blood flow issues, and possibly some of the other issues you've been facing too, like weight gain, snoring, low energy, and poor sleep. In fact, you might be a little nervous at how long and hard you're keeping your erections at first, until you get used to it. I've seen this work for tens of thousands of men just like me and just like you. Just hear what they have to say. I was taking prescribed pills and they weren't working. I thought I was going to lose my wife, but this blew me away and worked very quickly. I can go and keep going multiple times, I can hardly believe how good this feels. It's like I'm in my early 20s again. I thought I was too old to have great sex again, but once I stumbled onto this discovery, it changed my life forever. I've been having sex 4 to 5 times per week, better than before. My boyfriend has done a complete 180. He's like a new man, and I'm loving every minute of it. Our sex is amazing, and he stopped feeling so self-critical all the time. You may want to sit down when you watch this presentation, because I'm getting swarmed with people sending me their success stories daily, giving my 10-second flow fix a try. They're amazed at what it does for them. And now it's your turn. Just think about being rock hard and staying that way when she's waiting for you. Rather than push you away, you can relish knowing that she's wet and squirming, hot and bothered to bring you close. What will you focus on instead when you can stop worrying about her losing interest? What will you accomplish in your golden years when you feel a renewed sense of energy and confidence? In control of your body and your most fundamental expression of masculinity. If you're like many men who try this, everything changes. Because little things can make such a big difference. Your relationship will be better than it has been in years. Maybe even better than it ever was, because you found something that every man can use to give himself a healthy boost. And it's all going to be due to what I'll share with you in a moment. And let's be clear, this is as close to a permanent fix as it gets. So if you've tried dangerous pharma drugs that you can't even drink with, and which messes up your blood pressure, or worse, you can be done with those. Same with the pumps and devices and injections. So if you're facing limp dick more often than you'd like, then you need to pay close attention right now. Because I've been threatened many times to take this video down, so I need you to listen closely and watch this video all the way through. So you can at least learn what Big Pharma and the money-grubbing medical industry doesn't want you to know. They've tried to shut it down 3 times now, which means you really need to listen and understand just how powerful this 10-second flow fix really is that gets to the root cause of what's going on and fixes it for good. It doesn't matter how good your genetics are, your diet, how often you do cardio and lift, or your body's hormones, or even your anxiety. Whatever they try to convince you of to make money is just a fear to prey upon you for a buck. I'm going to show you exactly how you can do this yourself from the comfort of your home. I'm also going to give you real scientific studies from the world's leading universities that have won several awards to back this up. I'm going to roll out the red carpet and show you in this presentation just how you can finally fix ED without wasting time and money on things which don't work long term. You're in the right place at the right time finally. Are you ready? Hi, my name is Robert Mason, and I want to tell you about how I nearly lost Samantha, my wife of 13 years. Everything I'm about to tell you is 100% true. I'll be telling just what happened that day, how I made a huge mistake, and how your partner could be cheating on you right now unless you fix this. I'll show you exactly what to do and how to make changes before the end of today. What I'm about to tell you is full of controversy because it goes against the trillion-dollar big pharma industry. And it reveals breakthroughs which prove that they're products that are designed to do nothing other than make them money, leaving you with little to no results. This website is here right now, but it could be gone at any moment because of this. I want you to take this video seriously and close anything else you're doing. Flip your phone upside down, get out a pen and paper, and start writing down notes. Because if you have issues with ED, this will be the most important video you'll ever see. Once you know what you're going to learn, no one can take this knowledge away from you. If you have ED, you don't need me to tell you that there is nothing worse for your self-confidence. I know, because I almost lost my wife to ED, until I came across a breakthrough discovery that changed my life forever. After this video, you'll know how to fix your ED without painful pumps and embarrassing and dangerous prescriptions, both of which can have very risky side effects. But I have to warn you, if you do what the presentation tells you to do, in just a few days, you'll have massive bulging erections, naturally, just like you used to. You'll begin to feel more confident because when you fix this one part of your life, the confidence and swagger you'll feel and see will impact everything else. Women in public might even notice the change and begin flirting with you. And the best thing is, you won't need any scary drugs that can cause deadly side effects. You won't need painful traction devices that literally tears your penis or pumps that leave you bruised. This is widely becoming known as nature's penis pump because it works so well and has already worked for over 140,000 men before you. The testimonials keep coming in, not just from excited men, but from their partners thanking me. And it's crazy because even people in their 20s are seeing success, and also people late into their 80s. Because almost every man can use the natural boost this provides. We've seen so many relationships repaired that have also hit a new peak, that we knew we had to get this out to more people. Now it's time to address the elephant in the room, or what you hope will be the elephant in the room, your erection. Let me tell you about what happened to me first. I'm guessing you can relate, but growing up, it felt like anything and everything gave me an erection. I'd watch a TV show and get hard. I'd bump into a door and get hard. I'd look at a girl in the drive-thru, a teacher in class. My penis knew how to spring to action in a split second and stay that way. It seemed like nothing I did could get them to go away. This was all in my teenage years, and as I aged, things thankfully slowed down a little bit. But I always remained in control, and when I wanted to get it up, I could. Until I couldn't. I hit 57, and while I was in love with my wife and still insanely attracted to her, I had to practically pray to God to grant me an erection. I just wasn't getting as hard anymore, but I didn't pay that much attention to it until one night. I remember vividly that one anniversary that tipped my world upside down. It was a Friday night, and I had everything panned out. I booked the best room in one of those romantic hotels in the city, had them lay rose petals on the bed, light candles, and have romantic music ready to go. I even had them bring in champagne and chocolate-covered strawberries for me to dip into my wife's luscious mouth before I wooed her into the heart-shaped bed for what I hoped would be a night of pleasure and new memories. But that's not what happened. The beginning of the night went well. We enjoyed a few sips of wine, had perfect dinners at my wife's favorite restaurant. I presented her with a gift at the restaurant, a naughty new lingerie set I knew would get her hot and bothered, just like it used to. But when we got to the room, things started to go sour. While she was busy, I tried to coax my dick to life, imagining how sexy my wife would look in the outfit I picked out for her. But it was pointless because I just couldn't get it up. When my wife finally came out and into bed, I tried to play it off, focusing on her pleasure a bit in the hopes that her excitement would rub off on me. But when she reached down to feel my flaccid, squishy penis barely coming to attention, her face dropped and the mood immediately changed. Her eyes welled up a little. "It's okay, Robert," she said. "We can just hang out." I knew it wasn't okay. Knowing her, she was likely blaming herself for not being good enough or sexy enough, which if you knew my wife, you'd know that was not the case at all. And seeing the way she sort of pulled the blankets over her as if to hide her shame and frustration was a huge wake-up call for me. I'd been having some problems for a while. Difficulty when I was masturbating, not lasting as long as I'd like during sex, giving my wife less powerful orgasms than before. But this was a whole new level. As we laid in bed together, I felt too many emotions to count. Shame, embarrassment, anger. I couldn't even do the one thing that is supposed to come naturally to men. Aren't we supposed to be able to get it up at any time? I knew that there was something more going on because I sure as hell wasn't nervous, and I was immensely attracted to my wife. I also felt another emotion, one I hadn't felt since the first few months of our relationship. Fear. What if this problem continued and she no longer thought of me the same way? I imagined how she'd look at me if I had to bring penis pumps and pills with me in order to give her mediocre sex. I just knew she would start seeing me as someone to coddle and mother, instead of the man she looked to and trusted to make her tremble and scream in mind-blowing orgasms. And what then? Would she start thinking about other men? Or worse, leave me? My fears gave me even more anxiety. Sex is of course a healthy part of every relationship, but my wife and I have always had sex several times a week. It was one of the many things I enjoyed about our relationship. While most men would love to have a wife like this, her needs only fueled my performance anxiety, making an already bad problem even worse. At the urging of my wife, I went to a doctor who told me that it was just a part of getting older. But I wasn't so much older than I was the year before when I didn't have this problem. Nor was it all in my head, because anxiety at failing my wife was certainly a part of it. I was still insanely attracted to her. And it's not like I didn't want sex. I used to have sex several times a week, and it was always amazing. We didn't even have the kids around to worry about. As much as I didn't want to, I was desperate for solutions. So we tried everything the doctor and sex therapist suggested. Penis rings hurt and didn't stay put. The vacuum pump felt like a torture device, and the risk of bruising and tearing kept me from focusing. Finally, I gave in and tried the little blue pill. "Are you excited?" I asked Samantha as I popped the pill in my mouth. She playfully adjusted the strap on the lacy number I loved. "Maybe," she cooed and pulled me onto the couch and hopped onto my lap, running her fingers through my hair and kissing my neck. All was going well until the throbbing hit me. Not in my penis, but in my head. And not in that head. I tried to focus on what my wife was doing, but my temples felt like they were going to explode and my nose dried up so much I couldn't breathe. I had to stop her and grab some water and pain meds, and by the time I came back, she had pulled on her sweatpants and t-shirt. I had failed her again. This wasn't working. I was over these lackluster methods to fix my ED and wanted to be my young, hard self again, but without the dangerous side effects and risk of injury. At that point, I was done with the conventional path. I was going to do everything in my power to save my marriage and my manhood. Now, you know my name is Robert Mason, but what you don't know is that for the past 15 years, I had made it my mission to stay on top of the latest research and products about men's health. I thought I was relatively healthy, but apparently not enough to avoid ED. So I turned my research abilities into my greatest assets. I spent at least 8 hours a day digging through all of the current studies that were on the cutting edge to figure out how to actually fix ED once and for all, because I sure as hell wasn't going to accept that this was my life. Before I go on, it might help to understand what ED actually is. ED is very simple to explain. The inability to get and stay hard is due to a lack of blood flow in your penis. Now, if someone has ED, it likely means their erection muscle is weak. See, below the base of your penis is a special muscle that is responsible for triggering erections. It has a scientific name called the ischiocavernosus muscle, but to simplify it, just think of it as the erection muscle. And just like how you flex your bicep and it turns hard, when the erection muscle flexes, the harder your penis gets. And just like your biceps, the stronger the erection muscle, the bigger the erection. See, ED is one of the first signs that your erection muscle is weak, and mainstream drugs don't actually fix this issue. And instead of strengthening the erection muscle, it just pumps blood into your penis, giving you a fake erection, which is a temporary solution at best. It also doesn't do anything for your libido, stamina, or size. And as you know, each time you use these side effect-laden pharma pills, it's super risky. You could end up in pain like I was. That's considered a mild side effect. Worse side effects could mean painful erections that you can't get rid of and which require invasive medical intervention. And if you're on any kind of nitrate medicine, the combo can be lethal. But what if you could get the benefits of Viagra and Cialis without all the crazy side effects? Dr. George Rathman, a prestigious biochemist and founder of Cialis, which is an even stronger drug than Viagra, who also developed other drugs for things like anemia, who saved countless lives, had a very impressive list of discoveries throughout his career, being the creator of Cialis. After digging through his research and notes, I was surprised that the ingredients he started with were all natural. When he later sold the new company made everything into a mix of chemicals to last longer and deliver faster, and to make more money, frankly. I began to think to myself, what if I could find a way to stay away from all those chemicals and took the original natural ingredients, but somehow made them better? The good news is, Dr. Rathman, being an astute scientist, left detailed research notes on the exact ingredients he studied, and later turned into Cialis. This data wasn't easy to access, and I had to drive hundreds of miles to Princeton University, because that's where Dr. Rathman left his old research notes, being a Princeton graduate. But after begging the library staff to help, I was finally able to get my hands on Dr. Rathman's old research paper. I felt like Indiana Jones discovering the Holy Grail, because Dr. Rathman's notes were a treasure trove of medical knowledge, and more importantly, it revealed exactly how he had developed Cialis, and how he even got the idea from studying nature, specifically certain ingredients found in the jungles of Brazil. See, after cross-referencing data between every major country, Dr. Rathman found that the men from Brazil had stronger erection muscles than almost anywhere else, even at ages 60, 70, or older. Amazingly, these Brazilian men were not only more virile, they were leaner, stronger, and had higher levels of testosterone, even at older ages. What's more, Dr. Rathman was able to rule out genetics, because studies showed when these same Brazilian men immigrated out to Western countries like America, Europe, and elsewhere, the research showed that they too reverted back to average. Which really just means they became flaccid, weak, and flabby like everyone else. So it clearly wasn't genetics. It seemed like the answer was hidden not in the Brazilian people themselves, but in their lands. This is where Dr. Rathman's notes took a different direction. He began looking into the local culture and foods they consumed, and realized there were several distinct herbs and roots that the native Brazilians consumed regularly and couldn't be found anywhere else in the world. Researchers from the Biosciences Institute found that Brazil had a long tradition of using herbs and plants to increase sexual potency. Through hundreds of years of trial and error, the locals had figured out exactly which herbs and roots would give men godlike potency and rock-hard erections. And because sex is so highly regarded in Brazilian culture, which I'm sure you've heard about, these herbs were almost sacred to them, because it would allow men, even in their 60s and beyond, to have extremely powerful erection muscles. Remember, unless you have a strong erection muscle, there's no way in hell you're ever going to have a thick hard-on as strong as steel, the kind you need to make her dripping wet with anticipation and pleasure. After tireless research, Dr. Rathman narrowed it down to several Brazilian potency nutrients that could give any man the libido, testosterone levels, and erections that rivaled younger guys in their 20s. and he left detailed notes on each Brazilian herb. The first one was called Muira puama, also known as the potency wood by locals. It's a rare herb found in the lush Amazonian rainforests. And studies show Muira puama not only skyrockets libido, sexual drive, and testosterone through the roof, but Dr. Rothman found it also acts like a natural steroid for your erection muscle. And that's because Muira puama contains unique nutrients called sterols, which are the building blocks your erection muscles need. So like how protein grows muscle, Muira puama grows the erection muscle. And get this, an elite team of researchers from the University of California concluded that the older you are, the better it works. Which is how guys, even in their 60s and 70s, were having the best sex of their lives. And it doesn't stop there, because the second Brazilian plant on Dr. Rothman's list was the catuaba herb. Now, catuaba is special because even though it's a plant, it protects against the weakening of the erection muscle, which actually happens because of a process called oxidative stress. See, aging happens when your body experiences high levels of oxidative stress. So when you reduce oxidative stress in the erection muscle, it's like turning back the clock and reversing the age in your cock, giving you the sexual power you had in your 20s. It was clear to me that combining catuaba with Muira puama, the erection muscle steroid, could easily counteract and reverse the natural weakening of the erection muscle that happens with age. As a side benefit, studies show that catuaba also enhances blood flow to the penis, and this results in bigger erections that are stiffer than steel, that you can call on demand no matter your age. And studies show that when you combine catuaba with Muira puama, it sends a tidal wave of cock-hardening nutrients straight to your erection muscle and transforms your member into a thick, horse-sized erection, the kind that women love to worship. But it doesn't end there. Because next on the list was Damiana, a natural aphrodisiac plant that not only increases sexual desire, but also boosts endurance in the bedroom, so you last longer, giving her waves of pleasure, and you'll have her dripping wet every time she even thinks about having sex with you. As an additional bonus, Damiana is also a legendary testosterone booster, which builds lean, strong muscles. The kind that has younger women take notice and secretly want. There were several more Brazilian ingredients inside Dr. Rothman's research that I don't have time to get into right now, but he eventually concluded the combination of these herbs is what gave Brazilian men their potency, even into old age. And when the same Brazilians immigrated into Western countries, they would no longer have easy access to these rare herbs. And as a result, that's why they would also end up with erection problems, just like Western men. That's where Dr. Rothman's notes ended, however, and instead of developing a natural solution, he decided to mimic these herbs' powers through artificial methods in his lab. From a business perspective, it makes sense, because that's the only way Dr. Rothman could patent it and make a lot more money. But that didn't matter to me. All I needed was a solution that worked, and it was clear the combination of these Brazilian herbs was the basis from where Cialis was developed in the first place. And if I could get these herbs together myself, it would be a game changer. But it wasn't easy. I know, because I put everything I had into hiring a private group of scientists to combine these ingredients into an elixir that you could take in literally one gulp. Being scientists, everything had to be perfect, with no contaminants and only high-quality ingredients with potency. We spent months testing these ingredients in different ratios, trying to figure out in our lab we put together what the perfect combination was to fix ED without the nasty side effects. We were able to condense it into a powdered solution into capsule form, perfect ratios that worked well together. Of course, how good is a mixture without testing it? I had faith in the team, so I tested the first dose. So I took it and waited, and after just 15 minutes, I felt something. My penis began stirring to life, pressing against my pants, but more than that, there was this feeling of excitement. It wasn't even uncomfortable, it was more of a welcome back feeling, and a sense of pride I forgot I had. This is how I used to feel. I didn't want to tell my wife too soon in case it didn't last and we needed to fix the dosage. I decided to take another dose the following day. And that second day, the erection felt even stronger than the day before. I knew this wasn't just in my imagination because it was bulging through my pants. I'd actually measured it the day before out of curiosity, and it was slightly bigger today, so I knew it was working. But I knew that third time was the charm, so I took it again the next day. My wife had wanted to snuggle on the couch and watch the latest movie, so this would be a perfect test. I let her choose a particularly sappy movie, knowing full well there would be at least one sexy scene in there. When things started to get hot on screen, I made my usual moves to start getting her hot and bothered. At first, she looked at me confused, but then she noticed that I was already tenting in my pants. Well, let's just say that she got the message. Obviously, we can't get much further into what happened, but let's just say the harder I got, the more amazing she felt. After an hour of passion, just like when we were younger, we went back to our movie, completely satisfied. For the moment anyway. My wife even joked with me that the movie must have been hot, and I assured her that it had nothing to do with the movie. What she didn't know was that I had addressed the blood flow issue at its core, without worrying about nitrates, blood pressure issues, and potentially fatal side effects. The results blew me away, and so I knew I couldn't keep this to myself. I shared it with my friends so that they could save their marriages too. And not just men in their 30s and 40s, but even couples in their 70s and 80s. I want to paint you a picture of just how powerful these ingredients in their perfect dose really are together. These major scientific studies that were done by top-notch medical scientists from around the world, with all the proper protocols in place and thousands of people participating, had clearly shown that these ingredients in specific doses get to the root cause of ED, blood flow. And because we're addressing blood flow, men's heart health gets improved too, so that their blood pressure was more regular and even in the healthy range too. All without statins or major diet changes. It's really amazing to me the power of researching, testing, and putting the right ingredients in the right ratios together. But this has been proven over and over, so it's not a fluke. Listen, I'm not saying other things don't affect ED. Sure, some people have anxiety, depression, stress, but those things are not powerful enough to counteract just how good these ingredients are when combined together. I'm also not saying you should lay around all day, eat pizza, and not exercise. Of course, leading a healthier lifestyle with natural foods only makes your sex life better and boosts your confidence in the mirror. But ultimately, these things should not affect your ED if you're putting the right ingredients into your body. I'd considered sourcing these 14 powerful ingredients individually, but there were a couple of issues. For starters, it was way too many different pills to take, which was sometimes up to 14 pills per day. And nobody wants to do that. And buying them all separately is just way too expensive. We're talking several $100s per month. It was also hard for people to source all these different ingredients without contamination from metals and other impurities while maintaining the high quality and potency men need for this to work. So many companies out there cut corners and deliver a less pure product. You never know what you're getting when you buy the ingredients, and the prices change wildly and all the time, especially if you order from certain platforms with price-changing algorithms. I decided I needed to fix these issues for myself, my close friends, and for the general public too. To get these miracle-like results, it needed to be done precisely and correctly. Everything needed to be combined into one easy-to-use supplement, one that has the same results every time, with no side effects and with ingredients free of contaminants, that you can take within 10 seconds and move on with your day without worrying about price changes and availability issues. It took my team another 3 years nearly to figure this out, and we finally have figured out how to fix ED problems for good. We're extremely happy to announce this breakthrough formula with all 14 ingredients perfectly combined into one. It's called Alpha Boost Pro, and it's the breakthrough solution to ED. These 14 powerful ingredients boost your blood flow to where it counts, giving you a hard, long-lasting erection at a moment's notice, just like you used to get, which in turn will improve your confidence, improve your sex life, and improve your relationship with your spouse or partner. Each bottle of Alpha Boost Pro contains a pure and precise combination of 14 ingredients, designed to get your erections roaring immediately. The results have so far been overwhelming that its popularity among men in the know is starting to spread quickly. And the people that have Alpha Boost Pro keep several months on hand so they can give their body the boost it needs every day and protect their erections and long-term health from the forces which block blood flow and keeps their partners wanting more all the time. Alpha Boost Pro is even starting to be recognized and recommended by urologists to their patients, which is increasing demand even more, making things take longer for us to create, and raising the manufacturing cost of Alpha Boost Pro. It can sometimes take 3 to 4 months to make just one batch. Oftentimes, Alpha Boost Pro will sell out and we will need to pause new orders from coming in. I don't want to have to do that because I know this is incredibly important and life-changing for you too. Let me show you just how to get a fresh new bottle of Alpha Boost Pro and how you can even try it free of risk as part of our charter program. You're probably wondering, if I'm to take Alpha Boost Pro, what dose do I take? That's an easy one. You simply take 2 pills a day for 30 days straight at least. You need to at least take Alpha Boost Pro for 30 days because while the 14 ingredients really work immediately, to get the full effect of addressing ED at the root, you need to take it for a sustained period of time. For example, just one dose sees results within 15 minutes, but if you take them 14 days in a row, we see an average erection size increase of 13%, which doesn't sound like much, but that's a difference your partner will feel, which in turn results in more pleasure for both of you. You'll also notice your blood flow will be more free-flowing, and your blood pressure can be more regular too, which is a nice side bonus for many people. So you really just want it building up each day, making your erection stronger and harder and increased in size with the regular use of Alpha Boost Pro that is literally a fraction of the cost of Cialis or Viagra, not to mention the nasty side effects those two drugs can have, and the embarrassment of having to get a script for it. The cost of Alpha Boost Pro literally just pennies daily. For these reasons, we really recommend that you take advantage of at least the 3-bottle option of Alpha Boost Pro and 6 bottles if you really want to lock in results, get max size gains, and avoid running out. Remember, the longer you take it, the better the results, and you need to continually take it to keep yourself at peak performance too. Having the strongest erections and the best sex you've ever had. Many of the men using ED Boost Pro are citing our formulation as the reason they're enjoying life so much right now. Just like John Halbert of Austin, Texas, he says, "Every time I take Alpha Boost Pro, my erection seems harder and longer lasting than before, so that my wife always has at least one mind-blowing orgasm each time. I've never had the issue of my wife telling me she was tapped out until now. This is incredible." And James Williams from Miami, Florida says, "My wife can't believe that we have been able to have sex like we used to. She used to beg me for sex, and I had trouble even pleasing her for 5 minutes before going limp. Now, I go as long as we both want and still finish when I need to, unlike Viagra, which kept me hard for too long in a bad way. Alpha Boost Pro not only ended my ED issues, but honestly, even in my 20s, I couldn't get hard for this long. You've literally answered my prayers." Or Jason Mendez from Los Angeles, California. "The results I'm seeing with Alpha Boost Pro are truly insane. My wife loves how hard I'm now getting, which makes her feel good about herself, and she's wanting it again, which means we're getting more sex more often and better than it ever was. I'm sold." These are just some of the thousands of testimonials I get in frequently for Alpha Boost Pro. Because we want to be able to ensure the quality and keep the price consistent, you won't find Alpha Boost Pro anywhere else, and we sell out pretty quickly because it works. Alpha Boost Pro can really bring back the erections you had when you were a teenager, and for some men, even helps you go multiple rounds, something many couples couldn't even do before. You'll wake up hard as a rock, which is one of the signs doctors look for when it comes to diagnosing ED. Because if you have erections in the morning, you'll have no problem getting erections later in the day or whenever you're ready. Alpha Boost Pro will give you amazing confidence, which everyone knows makes sex even better for you and for your partner. Taking away your anxiety and stress because you're able to be in the moment and not worry about going limp and facing rejection. Just imagine getting those insane erections back you used to have and being able to get it up at a moment's notice. All because you finally found the solution which addresses the root of the issue. You can see why Alpha Boost Pro could very easily be priced at $229 per bottle. And based on the incredible results, many people would find that reasonable, because the ingredients are so hard to find in this perfect ratio without contaminants and worth every penny. While I need some profit to be able to reach more men like you with my solution, what's more exciting to me is making sure I get good men results and save their marriages. That makes all this work worthwhile for me. So you won't need to spend $229 on Alpha Boost Pro or even $129. In fact, if you take action today, you can order Alpha Boost Pro for just $69 per bottle, and that's just the beginning. Because remember, the longer you take Alpha Boost Pro, the better your erections, the harder they are, and bigger they are. We have so many people ordering more than one bottle at a time of Alpha Boost Pro. To avoid missing even a day of the powerful ingredient stack, that we decided to create a rewards program where you can stock up on even 6 bottles of Alpha Boost Pro for just $39 per bottle, which is less than you'd pay for some of the other supplements which don't have our proprietary 14-ingredient blend that works so well. So, you can click the button below this video right now and select the 6-bottle package or 3-bottle package and secure your order now. And if you're smart and order a 3-month or 6-month supply, you'll also get 2 bonus books worth $109, absolutely free. Bonus number 1. Revitalize your vitality. 21 days to a stronger erection, solving the 5 biggest myths of erectile dysfunction. Discussing what you've tried in the past, why it doesn't work, and what you can do going forward to prevent it from happening ever again with at-home natural remedies. The next bonus is Erectile Mastery, unlocking your potential for intimacy and vitality. 4 secrets to spice up the bedroom, how to talk to your wife about sex, and why you should have sex on a daily basis. 1 little trick to easily overcome any hurdle life throws at you. A morning technique to permanently rewire anxiety triggers, even a way to become more productive and ultimately a super version of your current self. All that and more. I can't wait for you to read. I want you to be completely satisfied. So here's the deal. Buy 3 bottles of Alpha Boost Pro. We'll gift you the 2 bonus books worth $109 absolutely free. Or better still, buy 6 bottles, our most recommended package, and we'll give you the 2 bonus books worth $109 for free. I didn't mention it, but all orders of Alpha Boost Pro come with a 180-day, 100% money-back guarantee. As you already know by now, we get thousands of success stories all over the world, from people saying how integral Alpha Boost Pro is to improving their overall health and, of course, their sex lives. Making their erections powerful and pleasing their partners better than ever before, and just feeling like a man again. That I want you to enjoy this same experience too, because it truly is incredible and a huge breakthrough. But I understand there could be some amount of skepticism. I get it. You're wise to consider everything you put in your body carefully. I know I was, and still am very serious about potency and quality. That's why I want to offer you 6 months entirely risk-free to try Alpha Boost Pro, to try it and see for yourself. Because you really can't judge something until you try it. Here's how it works. Just click the button below to select one of your packages to start your order of Alpha Boost Pro. Once you receive your order in a few business days, I want you to open the first bottle and take your first dose right away and set a timer to remind yourself to take Alpha Boost Pro at a regular time for the next few days. Once you do this, you'll see and feel the incredible difference it makes in your life, and after you've experienced its effects for a couple months, you won't want to be without it. But if it's just not completely blowing you away and you're not loving life on Alpha Boost Pro, then you won't have to pay a single red cent. Just call or email our support team and we'll refund your purchase, no questions asked, and you won't even need to send the bottles back. How's that for a guarantee? If you try going into GNC, Walmart, or anywhere else to try their supplements, you'll see that their policies aren't as generous. But I'm so confident in my 14-ingredient stack that's backed by research and real results that I know you'll keep coming back for more as long as I keep my end of the bargain, which is maintaining superb quality and keeping Alpha Boost Pro available for men like you. It feels good knowing you have zero risk, have seen the real science behind it, and have heard some of the success stories from Alpha Boost Pro. And you have a full 180 days to decide if Alpha Boost Pro is working for you. So go ahead and click one of the packages you see below while supplies last. Make the right choice. You can either decide to close this presentation, ignore all the proof you've seen today, and not take these incredible ingredients perfectly put together in Alpha Boost Pro, restoring your blood flow and making you rock hard, improving your sex life and your confidence, possibly even saving your marriage or relationship if intimacy has been an issue. Or you can decide to join the tens of thousands now taking it regularly, having the best sex of their lives on Alpha Boost Pro without negative side effects into their 40s, 50s, and even 80s. They made the logical choice and tried Alpha Boost Pro. Take action now if you want to join them, so make the right choice now and choose one of the 3 packages below. If you decide to leave, that's your choice. But just remember, when you're still struggling in bed, potentially going to lose your partner and experiencing limp erections that you have to squish into her. Or worse, feeling emasculated because you can't do the one thing all men should be able to do, that you could have taken a different road and tested Alpha Boost Pro. Don't be left wondering what if. Trust me, that's a terrible feeling for you and your partner. You have absolutely nothing to lose here with a 180-day risk-free money-back guarantee. You have nothing to lose but the embarrassment and shame. So make the right decision today. If she asks about your choice, you can point to the 180-day risk-free guarantee, the studies, and the incredible 14 ingredients that each address a different facet of ED. But I'm guessing that once she sees and feels how it works, she won't be asking any questions, except if you ordered enough. So to get started, click one of the 3 packages below this video and claim your supply of this incredible miracle-like fix for your ED issues. The decision is yours, but remember, don't be left thinking what if, when you have a risk-free guarantee sitting right in front of you to support your decision today. Thanks for taking your time with me today to share my incredible breakthrough with you. Robert Mason. Here are some frequently asked questions in case you're on the fence. Question number 1. What makes Alpha Boost Pro so special? Alpha Boost Pro contains 14 powerful ingredients that have been shown to increase blood flow, which boosts your size and your ability to give her orgasms. It also ramps up your stamina, which improves your ability to last as long as you both need or want, all starting within 15 minutes. Remember, this ingredient stack is based on decades of research studies into what actually works to fix ED. And taking each of these separately is not only expensive, it'd be hard with how obscure some of these ingredients are. Question number 2. What else can you tell me about Alpha Boost Pro? Most people don't know to look for this, but Alpha Boost Pro is made right here in the United States in a facility that follows all GMP guidelines, which means that it's manufactured in an FDA-registered facility with rigorous regulations to keep you safe. Alpha Boost Pro gets regularly tested for contaminants and purity of the ingredients for maximum effectiveness. Question number 3. How long will Alpha Boost Pro be available to the public? Alpha Boost Pro will be available as long as I see the need for men and their partners to fix their ED, and as long as it works to help men protect their erections and their heart health and give them rock-hard erections. I also want to make sure I can source and combine the ingredients so that the everyday man can afford it. Right now, it costs less than a cup of coffee a day. But if there's ever a day where I can't do that, or ingredients run out, or in the event powerful players in the big pharma industry play their dirty tricks and get us shut down temporarily, then it might be unavailable. Which is why many men are already choosing to keep at least a few months' supply on hand at all times, which you can do by clicking the button below. Question number 4. How does the guarantee work again? Remember, when you order a package below, you get a full 180-day money-back guarantee for Alpha Boost Pro. So in the unlikely event you aren't feeling a difference in your erections, you can simply call or email our customer service team and get your no-questions-asked refund. So go ahead and click one of the packages below. It will take you to a simple and safe checkout page where you fill in your billing and shipping details. Our 6-bottle package is the most effective, least expensive, and most popular by far, and we will rush it out to you in no more than 3 business days. Once you get your order, simply spend 10 seconds per day taking Alpha Boost Pro, with food or without, and start to see results immediately that get better each day over time. Just remember, there is a 180-day money-back guarantee, so go ahead and place your order with confidence now. Experience the incredible effects of Alpha Boost Pro right away.